sleep, the body goes through fasting hours, which can trigger muscle protein breakdown if nutrition is insufficient. During consuming the right foods before bed can slow down catabolism, support recovery, and enhance muscle growth while you sleep. Eating 30-60 minutes before sleep in moderate portions prevents digestive discomfort while still fueling overnight recovery. Proper night nutrition works with growth hormone release during deep sleep, amplifying repair, preventing muscle breakdown, and supporting long-term strength and health. When we think about building or maintaining muscle, most people focus on what happens in the gym or during their workouts. But the truth is, one of the most overlooked windows of muscle breakdown happens when the body is at complete rest. During sleep. At night, your body naturally goes into a fasting state. From the moment your last meal is digested until you eat again in the morning, you are essentially going without fuel for 6, 8, sometimes even 10 hours. That's a long period of time for your body to go without incoming nutrients. And while sleep is crucial for recovery, memory consolidation, and hormone regulation, it is also a period where catabolism, the breakdown of tissue for energy, can occur. Muscle tissue is especially vulnerable during this window. The body has two major fuel reserves it can pull from during fasting: glycogen stored in the liver and muscle, and fat stored in adipose tissue. When glycogen reserves get low, and when blood glucose isn't being replenished from food, the body starts looking for amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, to convert into glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. This means that without sufficient amino acids in circulation, the body may start pulling them from muscle tissue, leading to a slow but steady breakdown of lean mass overnight. Over days, weeks, and months, this adds up. For someone training hard or simply wanting to preserve muscle as they age, that breakdown can become a serious obstacle to progress. There's also a hormonal element here. Sleep is when the body releases pulses of growth hormone, which is anabolic in nature, meaning it promotes repair and growth. However, in order for growth hormone to have its maximum effect, the body needs raw materials, namely amino acids and other nutrients. If those aren't present in the bloodstream, the signal for growth and repair isn't fully realized. Instead of building, the body is left trying to hold on to what it already has, often unsuccessfully if there isn't a steady supply of nutrients to draw from. This is why the hours before bed are so important. They determine the internal environment your body has to work with during that long fasting stretch. Another key aspect is the balance between protein synthesis and protein breakdown. Muscle health is dictated by these two opposing processes. During the day, especially after eating, protein synthesis is elevated as amino acids from meals are used to repair and build tissue. At night, without food, protein synthesis slows down, while protein breakdown naturally increases. This imbalance can tilt heavily toward muscle loss unless the body has been supplied with nutrients that are digested and absorbed slowly enough to carry through those nighttime hours. That's where the concept of pre-sleep nutrition becomes critical. The type of protein matters here. Not all proteins are digested at the same rate. Fast-digesting proteins like whey are excellent during the day, particularly around workouts, because they flood the bloodstream quickly with amino acids. But before bed, this isn't ideal. By the time you're a few hours into sleep, those amino acids are already absorbed and used up, leaving your body unprotected during the rest of the night. Slow-digesting proteins such as casein are far more beneficial before bed because they release amino acids steadily over several hours, matching the time course of sleep. This steady release reduces the risk of prolonged periods where your body is pulling amino acids from muscle tissue. It's also worth noting that muscle loss during sleep doesn't just impact athletes or bodybuilders. As people age, natural declines in anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone make it easier to lose muscle. This process, called sarcopenia, starts earlier than many people realize, sometimes in the 30s or 40s, and accelerates with each passing decade. Nighttime catabolism compounds this effect, meaning that even if you exercise regularly, without attention to what you eat before bed, you could still be undermining your effort. Preserving muscle isn't just about aesthetics or strength. It's deeply tied to metabolic health, insulin sensitivity, and long-term mobility. That's why protecting against muscle breakdown at night is relevant for anyone who wants to maintain vitality and health as they age. Furthermore, stress hormones such as cortisol also play a role. Cortisol levels naturally rise toward the early morning hours as part of the circadian rhythm. Cortisol It mobilizes energy stores, which can include breaking down muscle tissue for amino acids. When combined with a fasting state of sleep, this hormonal environment is one where muscle breakdown can easily outpace muscle building. If you haven't taken proactive steps before bed, supplying the body with nutrients that buffer this process can dramatically shift the balance in favor of preservation and repair. The digestive system also behaves differently at night. Metabolism slows down slightly, and gastric emptying, the rate at which food leaves the stomach, is reduced. This makes slow digesting proteins and nutrient-dense foods even more effective. Process them at a measured pace. This prolongs the supply of amino acids into the bloodstream. The goal isn't to overload the system with heavy or hard-to-digest meals, which would interfere with sleep quality. Provide foods that deliver what your body needs most, a stable, prolonged release of amino acids and supportive micronutrients. In summary of this process, nighttime is a double-edged sword for muscle health. On one hand, it's the most powerful recovery period of the day, with hormones primed to repair and grow tissue. On the other hand, it is also the longest fasting window during which the body, without proper preparation, may default to breaking down muscle for energy. Understanding this balance makes it clear why what you consume before bed can be the deciding factor in whether your body spends the night rebuilding muscle or depleting it. The hours before sleep are one of the most underrated yet impactful windows for fueling the body. Many people carefully plan their breakfast, lunch, and dinner, paying close attention to macronutrients and overall calories. During this time, the body does not receive any external energy or nutrients. And because of that, it relies heavily on whatever resources were provided in the final meal before. Nutrition becomes essential not only for maintaining muscle mass, but also for supporting recovery, stabilizing hormones, and ensuring that the processes of sleep align with the goals of physical health and performance. When we examine why night nutrition matters so much, it begins with the understanding that sleep is not just about rest. It is an active state in which the body undergoes repair, growth, and regulation. Muscles repair microtears that occur during the day, particularly from exercise, and tissues across the body are restored. The brain consolidates memories and processes information. The endocrine system releases key hormones like growth hormone, melatonin, and testosterone, all of which play roles in both recovery and muscle health. But these processes are heavily dependent on nutrient availability. If the body does not have the necessary building blocks in circulation during the night, the effectiveness of these restorative processes is reduced. One of the central aspects of night nutrition is its role in preserving lean muscle tissue. Without incoming amino acids from food, the body often shifts into a catabolic state, breaking down muscle proteins to supply essential amino acids for critical functions. This is not a reflection of weakness in the body. Rather, it is the body's survival mechanism. Protein is essential for everything from maintaining neurotransmitter balance in the brain to supporting immune function. When the bloodstream lacks amino acids, muscle tissue becomes a reservoir the body can tap into. Nutrition acts as a safeguard against this by providing a steady supply of nutrients that minimize the need for the body to sacrifice muscle. There is also the concept of protein turnover to consider. Muscle tissue is in a constant cycle of synthesis and breakdown, and what ultimately determines muscle gain, maintenance, or loss is the net balance between these two processes. Eating protein-rich foods before sleep directly influences this balance by keeping protein synthesis elevated for longer into the night, while reducing protein breakdown. This becomes particularly significant for individuals engaged in strength training, endurance sports, or physically demanding activities, as their muscles require more frequent repair. However, it is just as relevant for individuals not focused on athletics, because aging naturally tilts this balance toward breakdown, making muscle maintenance more challenging. Night nutrition slows this age-related decline by ensuring the body has the resources to continue building and preserving muscle overnight. The importance of night nutrition extends beyond muscle preservation alone. The quality of sleep itself is influenced by what we consume before bed. Certain nutrients can promote deeper, more restorative sleep, while the absence of them may lead to lighter or fragmented sleep. For instance, foods that contain tryptophan. This creates a feedback loop. Better sleep supports more effective recovery and hormonal regulation, which in turn makes it easier to preserve muscle and maintain health. Neglecting this connection can leave someone with both suboptimal sleep quality and greater risk of muscle breakdown. Another critical factor is metabolic health. During sleep, insulin sensitivity and glucose regulation play a role in determining how energy is used and stored. Consuming the right kinds of foods before sleep helps stabilize blood sugar, preventing sharp drops that could trigger stress responses and wakefulness. Stable blood sugar through the night also reduces the likelihood of nighttime cortisol spikes, which are associated with muscle breakdown. In this way, night nutrition not only protects muscle tissue, but also creates a more favorable internal environment for overall metabolic health. The timing of nutrition before sleep matters as much as the content. Eating a meal that is too heavy or consumed too close to bedtime can interfere with the natural processes of sleep, making it harder for the body to enter restorative phase. But consuming a balanced portion of nutrient-dense foods roughly 30 to 60 minutes before sleep can provide the body with enough to sustain it through the fasting hours without causing digestive discomfort. This is why the choice of slow digesting proteins, healthy fats, and specific micronutrients is emphasized. These foods are broken down gradually, releasing amino acids and other nutrients steadily rather than in a sharp spike, which better matches the timeline of sleep. Hormonal health provides yet another reason night nutrition is indispensable. Growth hormone, for example, is secreted in pulses during deep sleep and is most effective when amino acids are present to be incorporated into muscle repair and tissue regeneration. Testosterone, another hormone crucial for muscle maintenance and strength, is also influenced by sleep quality and nutrient availability. Without proper night nutrition, these hormonal signals are still released, but their potential is blunted because the building blocks needed for them to act upon are lacking. This is akin to turning on the lights in a workshop without providing any tools or materials. The signal is there, but the work cannot be fully carried out. Night nutrition is also a protective measure against long-term health decline. Muscle mass is not only a determinant of strength and performance, but also a key predictor of longevity and resilience. People with greater lean muscle mass tend to have better outcomes in aging, injury recovery, and even resistance to chronic diseases. By consistently fueling the body before sleep with the right nutrients, the natural erosion of muscle over time is slowed, supporting not just aesthetics or fitness, but long-term vitality. There is also an overlooked mental component tied to night nutrition. Knowing that the body is properly fueled before bed creates a sense of consistency and discipline, which can reinforce other healthy habits. It sets the stage for the next day, reducing the likelihood of waking up with extreme hunger or blood sugar dips that drive poor breakfast choices. In this sense, night nutrition does not just impact the night, it creates a ripple effect that extends into the following morning and influences the rhythm of the entire day. When it comes to protecting muscle tissue during the long fasting hours of sleep, not all foods are created equal. The body needs specific nutrients that not only supply amino acids for repair and growth, but also digest at the right pace to ensure a steady stream of fuel throughout. The goal is to avoid rapid spikes and drops in nutrient availability while also supporting sleep quality and overall recovery. 4 categories of foods stand out for their ability to prevent muscle loss at night. Casein-rich foods, eggs, lean, poultry, and nuts such as almonds and walnuts. Each of these choices plays a unique role in buffering against catabolism, and together they provide a practical framework for designing a pre-sleep nutrition strategy that aligns with the body's natural rhythms. Casein-rich foods are perhaps the most widely studied and reliable option for nighttime muscle preservation. Casein is a slow-digesting protein found in dairy products like cottage cheese and Greek yogurt, unlike whey protein, which digests quickly and floods the bloodstream with amino acids in a short burst. Casein releases amino acids gradually over several hours. This makes it ideal for the long fasting period of sleep, where the body benefits from a sustained drip of building blocks rather than a short-lived surge. Studies have shown that consuming casein before bed not only helps reduce overnight muscle breakdown, but also enhances muscle protein synthesis, meaning it actively contributes to growth. Beyond its protein content, foods like Greek yogurt also contain probiotics that support gut health, and cottage cheese often provides calcium and phosphorus, which are essential for muscle function and bone health. The combination of slow protein release and added micronutrient support makes casein-rich foods a cornerstone of effective night nutrition. Eggs, particularly when prepared in simple forms like boiled eggs or an omelet, offer another high-quality source of amino acids that can be highly beneficial before bed. Eggs contain all 9 essential amino acids in optimal ratios, making them a complete protein. One of the key amino acids found in abundance in eggs is leucine, which plays a central role in stimulating muscle protein synthesis. This is critical at night when the body needs a strong signal to keep building rather than breaking down muscle. Eggs also provide healthy fats and fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, which further support hormonal balance and recovery processes during sleep. While eggs digest more quickly than casein, pairing them with small amounts of healthy fats or fiber can help slow digestion slightly, making their amino acid release last longer into the night. Their versatility and nutrient density make them an excellent addition to a nighttime meal designed to protect muscle. Lean poultry such as turkey or chicken breast provides another powerful tool in nighttime nutrition. Like eggs, poultry is rich in high-quality protein, but what makes turkey particularly interesting is its content of tryptophan, an amino acid that serves as a precursor to serotonin and melatonin. These compounds play critical roles in regulating sleep and promoting relaxation. By consuming turkey before bed, the body receives not only a dose of complete protein for muscle repair, but also a natural boost for sleep quality. The combination of improved sleep and nutrient supply makes lean poultry. Additionally, the relatively low fat content of lean cuts helps ensure that digestion is not overly taxing, which is important for preventing discomfort that could disrupt rest. For individuals who train intensely, adding a small serving of poultry before sleep can make a noticeable difference in both muscle recovery and sleep depth. Nuts such as almonds and walnuts round out the list of top nighttime foods for muscle preservation. While nuts are not as protein dense as the other options, they bring unique benefits that make them highly valuable in a pre-sleep routine. Almonds provide a modest amount of protein along with magnesium, a mineral known for its role in muscle relaxation, nerve function, and sleep quality. Magnesium deficiency has been linked to restless sleep and impaired recovery, so consuming almonds before bed provides a natural way to support both muscles and the nervous system. Walnuts, on the other hand, are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and contain compounds that can promote melatonin production. This combination makes walnuts particularly effective for enhancing sleep onset and supporting anti-inflammatory processes that benefit muscle recovery. The healthy fats in both almonds and walnuts also slow digestion of other foods consumed alongside them, extending the release of amino acids into the night. Even a small handful of nuts can complement protein-rich foods to create a balanced pre-sleep meal that covers multiple aspects of recovery. Together, these 4 food categories create a comprehensive approach to nighttime nutrition that addresses both the need for sustained protein supply and the importance of sleep quality. Casein provides the long, steady release of amino acids that muscles require, while eggs deliver a complete amino acid profile with high leucine content to stimulate. Poultry adds not only lean protein, but also tryptophan to support relaxation and deeper sleep. And nuts contribute essential minerals, healthy fats, and compounds that further enhance sleep and recovery. This combination ensures that the body enters the fasting hours of sleep well equipped to maintain muscle mass, repair tissues, and optimize the hormonal environment. What sets these foods apart is their synergy with the natural processes of sleep. Instead of working against the body's rhythms, they align with them, providing the resources needed when the body is most primed for repair. Consuming them in moderate portions, roughly 30 to 60 minutes before bed, allows digestion to begin without interfering with rest, ensuring that nutrients are delivered steadily throughout the night. By choosing foods that digest slowly, release amino acids gradually, and support both muscle preservation and sleep quality, the risk of nighttime muscle breakdown is dramatically reduced and the benefits of recovery are maximized. The timing and portion control of nighttime nutrition are just as critical as the actual choice of foods. It is not simply about what you eat before bed, but also when you eat it and how much of it you consume. The body operates in rhythms, and these rhythms determine how well nutrients are digested, absorbed, and used during sleep. Eating too late, eating too much, or choosing foods that are too heavy can all disrupt sleep and interfere with recovery. Conversely, eating the right portions of the right foods at the right time before bed creates a metabolic environment that minimizes muscle breakdown, supports growth, and ensures that sleep quality is not compromised. Timing is the first major factor to understand. Sleep is a fasting state, and that fasting can last anywhere from 6 to 10 hours, depending on an individual's sleep schedule. If the last meal before bed occurs too early in the evening, such as 3 to 4 hours before sleep, the nutrients may already be fully digested and absorbed by the time deep sleep begins. This creates a gap where the body lacks circulating amino acids and begins drawing from muscle tissue to meet its needs. On the other hand, if food is consumed immediately before lying down, digestion can interfere with the transition into sleep. The digestive system is active, stomach contents are heavy, and this can lead to discomfort, heartburn, or even disrupted sleep cycles. The ideal timing usually falls within a window of about 30 to 60. This allows the body to begin digesting and absorbing nutrients without overloading the stomach or disrupting the natural onset of sleep. Portion control is the second critical element. It is a mistake to assume that more food automatically means better protection against muscle loss. Large, heavy meals before bed place a burden on the digestive system at precisely the time when the body should be directing its energy toward recovery and repair. Overeating at night can also impair sleep quality, leading to shallow or restless sleep, which ultimately negates the potential benefits of nighttime nutrition. Instead, the goal should be to consume moderate, strategically chosen portions that supply enough amino acids and other nutrients to last through the night without overwhelming digestion. This balance ensures that the body can utilize nutrients effectively and still enter deep, restorative sleep phases. Another consideration is the macronutrient composition of the pre-sleep meal. Protein is the centerpiece, but the presence of small amounts of fat and fiber can be beneficial as well. These slow the rate of digestion, helping to extend the release of amino acids into the bloodstream. However, too much fat or fiber can delay gastric emptying excessively, leading to discomfort during sleep. This is where portion control becomes key, enough to slow digestion slightly, but not so much that it disrupts rest. For example, a small serving of Greek yogurt with a handful of nuts provides the right balance, whereas a large plate of fried or greasy food would overload the system and interfere with sleep cycles. Timing and portion control are also deeply connected to circadian rhythms. The body has an internal clock that influences metabolism, hormone release, and digestive function across the 24-hour day. Eating late at night, particularly in very large portions, disrupts these rhythms. The body is less insulin sensitive in the evening, which means large amounts of carbohydrates before bed can lead to elevated blood sugar levels for longer periods. This is not ideal for recovery or metabolic health. Instead, smaller protein-focused portions align more effectively with the body's nighttime physiology. This careful alignment of food intake with circadian rhythm ensures that nutrient support rather than interfere with the body's natural recovery processes. One overlooked aspect of timing is the interaction with the sleep stages. Deep sleep is when most growth hormone is released, typically within the first few hours after falling asleep. This hormone release is one of the body's strongest anabolic signals, promoting tissue repair and muscle growth. If nutrients are not available during this time, the signal cannot be fully activated. Properly timing a protein-rich meal shortly before bed ensures that amino acids are present in the bloodstream precisely when growth hormone is at its peak, maximizing the benefits of this hormonal surge. Poor timing, such as eating too early, may mean that nutrients are depleted by the time growth hormone is released, leaving the body without the raw materials needed for repair. Portion control is equally vital in preventing disruptions to sleep quality. Overeating before bed can increase core body temperature as the digestive system works harder, and this is problematic because a natural drop in body temperature is necessary for sleep onset and progression into deep stages of rest. If the body is too busy digesting an oversized meal, the cooling process is delayed, and this can result in difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep. By keeping portions moderate, the body can balance digestion. The size of the pre-sleep meal also influences morning energy levels. Eating too much before bed can cause grogginess, bloating, or reduced appetite in the morning. In contrast, eating too little may leave someone waking up hungry in the middle of the night or with depleted energy reserves by morning. The balance lies in a portion size that is satisfying enough to carry the body through the night, but not so large that it carries negative consequences into the following day. This balance not only preserves muscle, but also sets the stage for consistent, high-quality nutrition across the entire daily cycle. Another factor to consider is hydration in relation to timing and portion control. While adequate hydration is essential for muscle recovery and metabolic processes, consuming too much fluid immediately before sleep can lead to frequent awakenings during the night to use the bathroom. This is essential for muscle repair and hormone release. Pairing moderate food intake with mindful fluid timing ensures that hydration needs are met earlier in the evening while still allowing uninterrupted rest. Ultimately, timing and portion control are about creating harmony between nutrient intake, digestion, and the body's natural sleep architecture. It is a matter of precision rather than excess, ensuring that nutrients are delivered at the right pace and in the right amounts to sustain the body through the fasting hours of sleep. This attention to detail transforms nighttime nutrition from a simple habit into a targeted strategy for muscle preservation, hormonal support, and deep recovery. The relationship between nutrition, sleep, and hormones is one of the most powerful yet underappreciated factors in muscle preservation and growth. Sleep is not just a passive state of rest, it is an active period during which the body undergoes profound biological repair, adaptation, and regulation. Hormones serve as the messengers that guide these processes, ensuring that tissues are rebuilt, energy is balanced, and systems are restored. However, the effectiveness of these hormonal signals depends heavily on the availability of nutrients. When the right foods are consumed before sleep, they provide the raw materials that allow hormones to carry out their roles with maximum efficiency. Without them, the hormonal signals still occur, but their impact is weakened, and the body may even resort to breaking down its own muscle tissue to compensate. One of the central hormones to consider is growth hormone. Growth hormone is secreted in pulses during the night, particularly in the first few hours of deep sleep. It is a key driver of muscle repair, fat metabolism, and tissue regeneration. However, growth hormone does not build muscle on its own. It creates the environment in which protein synthesis can occur, but for that synthesis to happen, amino acids must be available in the blood. If a person goes to bed without providing sufficient nutrition, the signal for repair is present, but the materials are missing, and the body cannot fully capitalize on the growth hormone release. In this scenario, muscle preservation is compromised. On the other hand, if slow digesting proteins are consumed before bed, amino acids are steadily available throughout the night, allowing growth hormone to fulfill its role more effectively. Testosterone is another hormone closely tied to sleep and recovery. Adequate deep sleep and REM sleep are necessary for optimal testosterone production, and testosterone itself is critical for maintaining lean muscle mass, strength, and metabolic health. But poor sleep or poor nutrient availability can lower testosterone over time, leading to accelerated muscle breakdown and reduced capacity for recovery. When pre-sleep nutrition is aligned with the body's needs, testosterone is supported both directly through the presence of amino acids and micronutrients and indirectly through improved sleep quality. This creates a synergy where nutrition, sleep, and hormones reinforce one another rather than working at odds. Cortisol also plays a significant role in this. Cortisol is often thought of as purely a stress hormone, but it is also a natural part of the circadian rhythm, rising in the early morning to help the body wake up and prepare for the day. However, elevated cortisol at the wrong times, particularly during the night, can be highly catabolic, promoting muscle breakdown and interfering with sleep. Stable nutrition before bed helps buffer against cortisol spikes by maintaining blood sugar levels and providing the body with nutrients that reduce the need for catabolic processes. This stabilization allows cortisol. Insulin sensitivity is another factor influenced by the interplay of sleep, hormones, and nutrition. At night, insulin sensitivity naturally declines compared to daytime levels. This means the body is less efficient at processing large amounts of carbohydrates late in the evening. However, moderate protein intake combined with small amounts of healthy fats or fiber before sleep does not overstimulate insulin. Instead, it provides a steady, manageable nutrient supply that supports muscle preservation without overwhelming metabolic pathways. This balance prevents large fluctuations in blood sugar that could otherwise disrupt sleep and trigger stress responses. Certain foods that contain tryptophan, magnesium, or omega-3 fatty acids can promote melatonin synthesis and improve sleep quality. For example, turkey and walnuts provide tryptophan, which the body converts into serotonin and then melatonin. Almonds supply magnesium, which supports relaxation and smooth muscle function. By incorporating these nutrients before bed, melatonin production is naturally enhanced, leading to deeper and more restorative sleep. This not only improves overall recovery, but also amplifies the effects of growth hormone and testosterone release during the night. Another important aspect of this synergy is how nutrition influences the progression through sleep stages. Sleep architecture consists of cycles that move between light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Deep sleep is particularly important for physical repair, while REM sleep supports cognitive function and emotional regulation. When the body is undernourished before bed, sleep quality often suffers with reductions in both deep and REM sleep. This diminishes not only physical recovery, but also mental and emotional well-being. Proper pre-sleep nutrition, by contrast, enhances sleep continuity and depth, creating the conditions in which hormonal signals can operate most effectively. The combined effect of these hormones, growth hormone, testosterone, cortisol, insulin, and melatonin, creates a delicate balance during sleep that determines whether the body spends the night building or breaking down tissue. Nutrition acts as the lever that tips this balance. With the right foods at the right time, hormones are able to synergize with one another, maximizing muscle preservation and overall recovery. Without proper nutrition, the same hormonal processes may lead to catabolism and reduced performance. It is also important to note that this synergy is cumulative. One night of poor nutrition or poor sleep may not drastically affect muscle mass, but over weeks and months, the impact becomes significant. Chronic undernourishment before bed can lead to gradual muscle loss, reduced strength, and impaired metabolic health, while consistent pre-sleep nutrition aligned with hormonal rhythms can produce steady improvements in muscle retention, recovery, and overall vitality. This cumulative effect underscores why night nutrition should not be seen as optional or secondary, but as an integral part of a comprehensive approach to health and performance. The synergy between sleep, hormones, and nutrition extends beyond muscle preservation alone. It influences mood, cognitive performance, immune function, and even long-term aging. Hormonal balance achieved through quality sleep and proper nutrition reduces systemic inflammation, stabilizes energy levels, and enhances resilience to stress. This interconnectedness highlights the fact that nighttime nutrition is not only about preventing muscle loss, but also about supporting the body as a whole system. Every hormone that acts during sleep has multiple roles, and providing the right nutrients ensures those roles are carried out effectively across physical, mental, and metabolic domains. The preservation of muscle during sleep is not an accident. It is the result of deliberate choices made before the body enters its nightly fasting state. Understanding why muscle loss happens at night reveals the vulnerability of the body during long hours without food, when catabolism can outpace synthesis if amino acids are not available. Recognizing the importance of night nutrition highlights that sleep is an active phase of repair, growth, and regulation, and that nutrients consumed beforehand fuel these restorative processes. Identifying the top 4 foods, casein-rich options, eggs, lean poultry, and nuts provides practical tools to supply slow, steady nourishment that supports both muscle protection and sleep quality. Paying attention to timing and portion control ensures that nutrients are delivered in a way that aligns with digestion, circadian rhythms, and the natural release of hormones. Finally, appreciating the synergy with sleep and hormones demonstrates how nutrition, rest, and endocrine signals form a powerful partnership that determines whether the night is spent rebuilding or breaking down muscle. By integrating these principles, the hours of sleep transform into a window of opportunity where the body is primed to preserve and strengthen muscle while supporting overall health,